Welcome back. You're watching News Centre. The European Investment Bank has committed external funding of nearly 300 million euros for Bengaluru Suburban Railway Project. Speaking to me earlier, the bank's Vice President Nicola Beer also said that the annual investments of nearly 500 million euros will continue into India as the country offers more opportunities in green energy and urbanisation.
India is a very important partner for us, but this time we have three key priorities. The first is the announcement of a big investment, 300 million for the Bengaluru Suburban Railway system, to invest it in good traffic. The second is the formal launch of our Urban Mobility Competence Hub, which we are installing here with our partner DB Engineering, and which will bring together the expertise of Indian experts, build up on the expertise of European enterprises to organize sustainable and very comfortable transport and mobility here in India. And the third one is I will attend the Urban Mobility Conference, so exchange with a lot of interlocutors here from the ground on next projects also to be developed.
If I were to ask you about the total investments that the EU Investment Bank has made in India so far, what would be the total amount?
The total amount in the last 20 years we are invested here in India is about 5 billion. So this is a huge amount, and we see that regularly we have around 500 million as investment year per year. So I would expect that to continue on this dimension.
Okay. Which would be the areas which you're most interested in? If there were certain areas that the EU Investment Bank is bullish about in India, would like to invest in heavily, what would those be?
I mean, very bullish in India. European Investment Bank is especially in metro lines and railways. So we really and transport and mobility expert. But we are also invested heavily in green energy and in the question also of water. So access to water, but also water treatment. If I look a little bit on the development here in India, especially the fast-growing cities, I think this connects very well with the development of sustainable cities. So urbanization is a topic, water, electricity, but also housing, and of course the question how to connect all this together in a coherent picture can be something we have to speak with our partners here.
Right. Give us also a sense of some of the ongoing negotiations which may have been approved by the EU Investment Bank. They are in the final stages of conclusion. Could you give us a sense of maybe the quantum of investments which are right now in the pipeline and could be announced soon?
I think we will see more or less the 500 million we saw so far each year. There is no question to degrees. We see very interesting missions also here in India, for example, for the green hydrogen mission, but that will have to be discussed. Also against the background that next year the EU-India summit is coming up. So an important event, I think, for India, but also for us as European Union. And so in this course, in the discussion, there will maybe also new priorities to be fixed, depending on our partners also here.
Considering the jurisdictions that you invest in, what makes India an important market for you, and what do you think India could do in terms of regulation, in terms of the governance environment, which could help attract more investments?
I mean, India is so far already a very important partner. We have over 4,500 European enterprises already here who are really pleased, especially by the skilled workforce, high digitalization, very good universities, and this is something I think we can build on in our partnership. Now to attract is maybe also to give more opportunities besides and beyond regulation to invest here in common partnerships, but also to bring their own products so that we can, in the important parts of energy, also questions of raw materials, production, refining, really build up partnerships, Indians and European enterprises together.
Right, and so one can assume that considering there has been an investment rate of 500 million euros in India for the last few years annually, the same amount would be earmarked for the next year as well, next calendar year as well?
If I look in my pipeline of the Indian business, I do not see any reason why we should not get up to this amount. So it's depending on the projects. We will also discuss the next days with our partners in government, but also with private corporates and other institutions.
Moving on from that.